Hey friends, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Elizabeth and this is the More Intuitive Me. I'm a tarot reader and your companion on the path of self-discovery. Let's flip some cards and dive into the magic. Today we're going to be talking astrology. We are getting ready to shift from Leo to Virgo. And I wanted to take some time to kind of honor what that looked like and what we can do in order to prepare for the earth energy of Virgo. Now, Leo is like a steady flame, right? Expressive, bold, unapologetic, and radiant. And this is an energy that's teaching us to claim our space, to create from the heart, and to lead with authenticity. I pulled these cards from the Heavenly Bodies Astrology deck, and we can see here Leo is fire energy, also fixed energy. So, what does that mean? Well, sometimes it can be resistant to change, right? It wants to hold on to identity and momentum and intensity, even when our energy is asking for rest, right? Virgo, however, is an earth sign, mutable, and it doesn't extinguish the flame, but it reshapes it. As a mutable earth sign, it brings discernment, devotion, and this quiet kind of power. It's inviting us to refine what we have created over here during the Leo period, but also then tend to details and to serve with intention. Now, this transition isn't about losing the spark, it's about channeling it from performance to purpose, from radiance to ritual. So, let's enter this space together and ask ourselves, what parts of our fire are ready to be grounded? And what brilliance wants to be shaped into something healing, useful, or transformative. Today we're going to do a card reading and we are going to pull 4 cards. So I'm going to leave these out. Today we're going to be using Lucid Minds. Now this is a deck that I have been using this past month and I am really enjoying my time with it. This is from the hashtag use my decks, one of Desiree's decks that I have been getting to know. So we are going to start over here with Leo. So we can see for Leo, we have the keywords self-confident, loyalty, and creativity. So let's give the cards a shuffle and we'll pull our first card. So this is going to be the flame or Leo's gift, right? What part of us is burning bright right now? What part of us is burning bright right now? Okay. Ooh, they're sticking together. Come on. It's like they want to come together, so we're just going to go with it. Ooh. All right. So we have 8 of Wands and 5 of Swords. So I'm going to stack them right here for now. Hopefully you can still see. Card number 2 is the friction, right? What is resisting change or asking for release? What is resisting? What is resisting or asking for release? Ooh, Wheel of Fortune. Okay. Card number 3. This is Virgo's invitation. So card number 3 is going to be what wants to be shaped with care. Oh, 2 of Pentacles. Okay. And then card number 4 is the integration, right? Because remember that we're moving from fixed to mutable. So the question we want to ask is, how do we walk, right, between fire and earth? Right there. 7 of Wands. Let's start with card number 1. So we had the flame. This was Leo's gift. What part of you is burning bright right now? We have the 8 of Wands. We have the 5 of Swords. Those cards wanted to come out together, so we're going to honor that. We have the 8 of Wands. This is very fast moving energy, right? Everything is happening quickly, and that's not surprising with this Leo energy because this is fire energy right here. And so 8 of Wands is saying everything is happening quick. 5 of Swords, there could be conflict. You know, these changes that we are seeing or implementing in whatever capacity during this Leo season could be bringing about some head nods, right? Some people may not be too happy. We may be moving quickly. Maybe we didn't have enough time to like assess the full situation because we're just jumping in and flowing with the energy, right? What I do see is that definitely things are happening quickly. And whenever we implement any type of change in our life or bring about new action or new activity, you know, it's impossible to make everyone happy. So, of course, there's going to be people that maybe have a different thought or are not in alignment with the things that you are trying to do for yourself. Okay, so that's card number 1. Then we move on to card number 2. This is the friction. What is resisting change? We have the Wheel of Fortune, ironically, the card of change. When we're looking at this card right here, some of the things we might want to ask ourselves, where is that Leo energy wanting to cling, right? Is it a part of your identity? Maybe it's your ego. Maybe it's momentum, right? Because with this fast moving energy and the fire of Leo, right? We could be doing things so quickly. It could be our creative juices are flowing and we want to do all the things because we're feeling inspired and motivated. And maybe part of that is wanting to cling on, but times are changing, right? We're evolving and it's time to maybe slow down just a little bit and ground ourselves, right? We can't continue at this pace and be successful for extended periods of time. It just doesn't work that way. So we're thankful to Leo energy because it helps to catapult us to do the things that we've been wanting to do. But now what's happening is that we're moving, right? We're seeing this shift going from Leo to Virgo, and it's time for some grounding, right? It's time to look at what we put into place and take a new approach. So with this card here, Wheel of Fortune, perhaps we don't want to pause. We don't want to slow down. You know, we feel inspired. We want to keep going, going, going. We're afraid that if we slow down, that we'll lose our momentum, but that isn't necessarily the case. And we're going to see that. All right, so for card number 3, we had the refinement, Virgo's invitation, right? What wants to be shaped with care? We have 2 of Pentacles. Notice how this is playing out, right? Here's this fast moving energy and all this kind of chaos, maybe conflict or competition going on, difference of thoughts and opinions. You know, it could be a multitude of different things. And now we're progressing, things are changing. And now as we move into this earth energy, we're being asked to look at how we are balancing our time, our energy. You know, are we going, going, going? But did we allow time for rest? Did we allow time to integrate? Right? Did we allow time for reflection? The energy of Virgo brings a very certain kind of medicine, right? This is discernment and devotion, sacred service. It wants to point a light towards the part of your life that is ready for a little bit of quiet transformation. And then we had card number 4, the integration, right? This is the threshold. We have the 7 of Wands. How? How do you walk between fire and earth? I want to take a moment to show the RWS, although I feel like this card does an amazing job at showing the meaning. But here we have the 7 of Wands, right? So this is that card of like self-defense, right? Being brave, moving through obstacles, fighting through things, or establishing boundaries. And I really, really like that. That's what I see when I look here, is that there's a boundary. There's a boundary, and you can't cross from one side to the other. And so, how do we walk between fire and earth? We have to do a better job of putting boundaries in place for ourselves, right? For our own mental health, because we're coming out of a season where it's high energy and things are moving quickly. And while we're trying to do all of the things that we were inspired to do with this Leo energy, it's quite possible that things got out of balance, right? That the ball got dropped on other things, and in our minds we think, oh, that's not as important, or you change the way that you prioritize what needs to be done and what could wait until later. And so this energy here is really asking us to kind of slow down just a little bit and reassess where we are, and allow ourselves time for grounding and for reflection, but also for integrating all of the very awesome things that we accomplished over here. I always like to take a step back and look at the reading one more time and see if there's anything that I notice. And I can't help but see that here we had the 8 of Wands, and then we're ending with the 7 of Wands. It's almost that idea of, taking a step back, right? Let's knock it down a notch. Let's take it down a notch and reassess where we are, take a look at where we may have maybe dropped the ball. Maybe it was self-care, right? Maybe we're burning the candle at both ends, and we're trying to do so many things because we feel encouraged or inspired. And maybe this is asking for a little bit of time, to ground and to center and to reassess, right? How far we've come, and then what else is needed moving forward. Friends, if you love tarot and this content resonates with you, please make sure to like and subscribe. Tap the bell icon so that you don't miss any upcoming videos. And thank you so much for being here. Feel like now would be an excellent time to kind of pull out the journal and maybe do some reflecting. And what I'll do is I'll leave a list of journaling prompts below in the description box. Should you feel inspired to do some journaling of your own, but maybe some questions that you might want to ask yourself. Where am I still performing, and where am I ready to serve? What part of my identity feels fixed? And is it still true? How can I honor my fire while embracing simplicity? What details in my life are asking for loving attention? Where am I being invited to shift from momentum to intention? I don't know about you all, but I definitely see a couple of questions there that I am looking to tackle. As we close, I'd like to offer a couple of affirmations. If you like to work with affirmations, I wanted to be sure to share these with you. I honor my light and shape it with care. I walk with intention, devotion, and quiet power. Friends, as we start to move through this Leo energy into Virgo, I hope that we all carry Leo's warmth in our hearts and Virgo's wisdom in our hands. Thank you so much for being here. See you next time.